stretch, all these road games, a lot of late flights, back-to-back tonight. Your guys you've said they're tired, but they haven't looked depleted. Does some of that have to do with what they were able to accomplish this summer? And is it a little different than stretches they went through last year?
That's a good question. I think it certainly helps to be able to get a good summer's work for your conditioning and all that stuff. There's no doubt. I'd rather win and have a short summer. I think they'd say the same, but there's advantages, I guess, in that department. We've tried to manage practices. We've hardly practiced, and I think that's why you see parts of our game here and there when we're off. We haven't had a chance to correct on the ice much. So we're trying to balance that, the travel, the rest, be ready to play. Good on the leaders for getting everyone ready to go. But yes, the summer could have something to do with that. You said that's probably a better question for the players and the people upstairs, but at the end of the day, we're finding energy, so that's what's required. And I think a lot of teams, Utah's in a tough schedule too, Winnipeg, so we're not the only one in it. We've played a few more, but I think every team's going to go through it, and I think that's where your depth comes in handy, right? You got to rely on everybody. We've kind of done that, use both goaltenders.
You said to us in your first year that you talked to Jack about what you expected from a number one center. Is he hitting those expectations?
Yeah, it's the offensive part. You're never going to know what the numbers will end up. I don't want to put a ceiling or a floor on anybody. You're getting to know a guy, but basically the expectation was to, you're going to have to carry a line some nights. You're going to have to be the leader on the line. You're going to have to play a 200-foot game so everyone in the room sees that you're committed to playing defense. I think those were the biggest talking points. And you're not sure how guys are going to practice, but he practices well. You hope that's the case. I believe that will pull more guys into that mode, work ethic mode. When your top guys are working hard at it every day, it's pretty hard for the guys in the middle and lower not to do the same. So that's leadership. That's what was the discussion. Well, I think you want to enjoy those, that feeling more than the losses, that's for sure. I think the losses, you can't just continually chuck them, right? You do have to take something from them, but if they're few and far between, don't dwell on them. I think you can enjoy the wins much more, but you can't dwell on those either. When it's puck drop tonight, Winnipeg's gone, they're on to their next game, and Utah's here, and you got to play to win against them. So it's a long year, so you have to enjoy when you win. So to answer your question, I'd say no, let's enjoy our wins, but be professional about it and be ready to go the next time. And certain losses you walk away from make you feel like you've played well, but it's okay to be pissed if you lose, right? Like that's going to bring some energy to the next game. So I guess that's how I feel.
I know you thought maybe you were a little concerned if your team was going to find the energy you needed last night. It seemed like you did. Do you feel that way?
Well, now I'm going to sound like Debbie Downer, but a little bit. It could be some letdown. The light at the end of the tunnel. We got a day off tomorrow. We've really grinded here. We get 2 days between games, which hasn't happened. At least it doesn't feel like it forever. So yes, hopefully we don't look ahead to time off, right? But I think our guys are pretty good. We'll reset if that's the case and address that, after the first period if it feels like we're not focused. It's one thing to not, when you're tired and you just don't have the energy. It's another thing to be not focused when you have your legs and all that, right? Now, usually a coach should be able to tell the difference, right? I could tell in Colorado at the end of that third period, it's not like we didn't want to play the right way. We played 2 periods. We tried to check their top guys. We just kind of ran out of gas. And I don't think it was lack of focus. I really don't. Toronto was, I felt like. But so usually if that's the case, we'll try to get their attention. If the energy's not there some nights, then it's a little harder to get out of the guys if it's just nothing there to get, right? So we're not going to remind them about those things, but again, we came in, we started talking about Utah. Most of the guys didn't go on the ice, so they can keep their energy. So we hope that's enough to get them ready.
What do you take away from the 2 games against Utah this year?
Well, they were much better than us early on up there. They're an east-west team to make a lot of slot plays. I thought at home we were the better team. They got an early lead, had a breakdown or two, so they can be a quick strike team. I wouldn't call them a high-volume offensive team that's wave after wave, shift after shift. They had some great ozone shifts against us because they'll spread you out a little bit like Colorado. That's their top guys. I also feel like once we got going, we could pressure their D. They're missing some guys out of their lineup that are puck movers. So if we play behind them and forecheck, force them to make reads in the D zone, then we'll be okay. I think our power play up there last time got us going, gave us some juice, so that was good. It's probably the last time it's really been clicking. So yeah, that's what I remember. Their forward group they rely on for offense is a smaller group, the Kellers and the Coolies, but they're skilled. So again, it's that East-West game. You got to stay loose in front of your net if they don't have net presence type of people, and make sure you have good sticks in the lane for those situations.
Would you like some more offense from the hurdle line?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've played well. The other night wasn't their best, but I actually thought they had the puck on their stick, hurdled down low in the second period. Chose not to go to the net, tried to look for an extra pass. So that'd be the only conversation with them. Be who you are, take it to the net, kind of bully your way in there and force them to defend you that way. And just remind them of that because I think they've been pretty good, for the most part.